So, dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight and make it straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully Enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this meditation can apply for our day-to-day life, and out of that, how it can bring the development inside us. So when it comes to meditation from the ancient time, there were two mental cultures, two paths. So one is developing tranquility meditation and getting to high mental powers. Another one is developing analytical, critical understanding through the vipassana. So this both meditation methods necessary for us to develop the wisdom. Tranquility meditation will help us to have the balance And on the top of that balance, and with the undisturbed mind, we can deeply observe and recognize how things come to be as they are. So we have to integrate this both together and develop it at the same time. And when it comes to meditation, sometimes people say they need a place. And sometimes they go to a retreat place. And sometimes they go to forest, mountains. And it need to be very silent. And need to have a cushion. So kind of like when it comes to now, meditation is a kind of like, it's a totally moderated by the time. But still when it comes to the practice, we have to know where to focus. So today we're going to talk about that a little bit. So during Buddha's time, there was a girl called, her name is called Therika. So by the time she married, after her marriage, within a few days, she heard some kind of Dhamma related to impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. And she understood it. And then, by the time what happened, she felt kind of like this marriage life doesn't work for her. It is meaningless. And she went to the husband and told that she wanted to become a nun, giving up this slave life and to become a nun. So the husband was a little bit disappointed because the marriage very recently. And he started to have a conversation and told, why you say like that? If you go like this way, it is not good for me and not good for you. Very recently we got married. And he didn't have that much understanding about the Dhamma. And what he told, you no need to focus to that kind of things. Just keep focused to your day-to-day activities. So kind of like he didn't give her a chance. And then she started to think, hurting him and kind of like arguing with him, fighting with him. It is not good. Another thing is that recently they got married and he thrust her. So then she thought she has some kind of responsibility to keep her word for him. Responsibility and accountability. So then she thought, I just stay like this, but still I will do whatever the things I can. I do my best to understand the Dharma. So then she started to do all the day-to-day activities, and she became one of the best housewife. She did everything perfectly, and she became a very good wife for him. But still at the same time, deeper in her, she started to reflect on this selflessness regarding this everything. And the impermanent, the experience that go through each and every day. And the unsatisfactory nature happening within us. So now she reflect that always. it became kind of like a meditation for her. Every day, with each and every bodily, verbally, mentally actions, she start to reflect on that impermanence, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. So it became a kind of like a deeply resonate with her and became little by little clear for her. So then by the time one day she was cooking, and then suddenly she had to do something else. She went and she forgot that the whatever that she was cooking. And then that all start to burn, the smell came, then suddenly she remembered that and ran to the place and look, it all burned. Seeing that itself, she didn't get worried, disappointed. Seeing that what happened, she right away understood the meaning of impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, and the selflessness. So then by the time it deeply went to her, and then it brought some kind of transformation, a spiritual transformation to her. And then by the time she got the permission, because she knew it doesn't work anymore, she got the permission by the time the husband was okay now, and she went to the temple and became a nun. And that day, then she went to meet the Buddha. So then as a meditation technique, Buddhists gave the same thing, that reflect on the impermanent, and that what happened to the curries that she cooked, at all, everything burned right away. From his own hand, she made that everything, but within few seconds, that everything burned. So then the Buddha told her to reflect on that. And he gave that as a primary mental technique for her. So then Rishi started to reflect on that and understood the Dharma, attained to the Arahata, or the liberation. So this story is very important for us, because in day-to-day life, we always look, when it comes to meditation, we think it's the place, it's the teacher, it's the environment, it is the temple or the center, it is the retreat place, so kind of like that. It is the community of Sangha. No, it is about your mind. Sometimes we try to build up that other everything, but we don't change our mind. Wherever we go, we have to go with this mind. So changing place is not the solution for your spiritual development in a certain way. Sometimes, if it is possible, it is okay. But sometimes, in case if you can't change the place, so this story will help for you to understand. Maybe if you can change the people, it's good. But sometimes you have no power to change the people around you, trapped with them. So then what you can do, like this Terika, and do all the activities, whatever the things and necessary things, but take care yourself deeper in your mind, that whatever you think, rather than anger, hatred, jealousy, always resistance, always thinking about bad things, other people, and maybe the blaming inside your mind for other people. So then always you yourself unnecessarily, you trigger you build up your own greed, hatred, and the delusion. You trigger your own anger. You trigger your own hatred. Maybe no one knows around you. You just don't like the situation. You don't like the person. And because you don't like, you start to blame to that person inside your mind. Maybe if it is happened only one time, it is okay. Just imagine if you have to live with that people every day. How about that? If you start to, to bring that unpleasant thoughts every day, by the time what will happen to inside you? It's complete collapse. You destroy yourself. And maybe there is a situation you can't change and you can't go away from that. And seeing that you always blame and always bring the unhappiness and reflecting on whatever you want to do, you compare that whatever the dreaming and whatever the situation, you compare, that comparison start to kill you by the time. You don't need to have a life like that. It's simply because this is what we have to understand. See that, because Dharma is not a kind of like something that going to come from outside world. Dharma is just developing yourself in the right way. We already have it, but we do it in a wrong way. That's why. So then remember yourself. Take care of your mind. That is the most important part. Don't worry about the people. Don't worry about the situations. Don't worry about the environment. Because that everything will change by the time. It's not going to be forever. Everything will change. Look at your own past. This is going to be for a moment. As you know, nothing going to be forever. We know that. We all know that. But we fail to apply it to when a situation comes. But the most important part when it comes to this wisdom path, remember that it is not how much you know. You have to learn how to apply what you know when the situations come. That is a very good skill that you have to develop. Because sometimes we fail. We can't apply. So that's why the tranquility meditation will build up that undisturbed mind. Because when you get disturbed, you get panic. You go blank. Your mind become like a very gloomy, dark. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't do anything. That's why when people get kind of like disappointed, disturbed, sometimes they can't even dial 911. They can't find the numbers, the 9 numbers. Then, they can't find it there. It's there, every day you see the numbers. But when the emergency situation comes, they can't find it. And there are people, when the emergency situation comes, they used to live 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in their own house. But when the emergency situation comes, they can't find a way to get out. And you have that at your home. You have things, valuable things, invaluable things, necessary things, unnecessary. There are a lot of things you have. And especially the valuable things, it is so valuable for you. And maybe documents, money, jewelries, some other things. You know where it is. And you know how valuable it is. But the thing is, when an emergency situation comes, you can't find it. You can't find it. Then what's the point? Because when the emergency situation comes, you should know. That is where you have to know what is valuable, what is invaluable, what is necessary, what is unnecessary. When the emergency situation comes, when the unbalance is there, when the situation in front of your face, that is where you should know what is major, what is minor. So that's why the tranquility meditation will build up that quality in you. That's why it's very necessary to handle it is not about that outside, but to handle our inside. That's why when everything is, in the place, you feel so good. Look, this, everything, all this, the walls, the roof, that everything, the floor, that everything is balanced. Now we good. We can, okay. But how about when the earthquakes come? When that everything go unbalanced, what will happen to our inside? We collapse. Because when when the earthquakes come, this everything become kind of like a liquid. In that very moment, we lose our inside balance. So, like in our mind, there are always earthquakes. There are always things collapse. Situations come, things always up and down, go up and down. So for a conventional life also, you need this tranquility state. So that's why it is very necessary for you to practice, because otherwise we can't have it. Maybe by birth, maybe from previous lives, maybe you have something. It is good for you if you have that. But if you know that you have that unbalance, then what you need to do, practice a little bit. It is for you. You are the one who's going to get the benefit out of it. So that, another thing is, you will not going to escape from situations. So whatever the situation, you accept it. You're not going to resist situations, people, environment, ideas, and you accept it. That is a kind of like a strength, the power you develop as a tranquility, in this tranquility, ordinary life. Because otherwise, if you always look for a place only make you comfortable, you always keep going, it make you tired, and it will make other people tired. You may find something only for a very short time period. Then again, you start to get disappointed. So the very important key point then, remember, look at that the girl, how she handled the situation. Even though she knew things impermanent, this unsatisfactory nature, this selflessness, still she took the responsibility as a wife and did her best for the husband. And the accountability, and whatever the promise she made, she stand for that. But still she practiced inside. So then in your life, from today. More be aware about inside you. Brush up, sharp, uplift, clear, energize inside you. So whatever the outside things, don't worry about it that much. By the time it will change, if you have to do something, do your best. Then the outside world going to be okay. But for inside, for yourself, never allow for any reason, for anything, for any situation, never allow your greed, hatred, or the delusion, anger, jealousy, so that kind of thoughts to increase. Keep the balance, find the balance, and again and again, again and again, develop it inside. So whatever the situation come, accept it as a part of life. Don't separate it from you. So when it comes to dualistic mind, one of the way that dualistic mind happen, we think the world is there, we are here. And then we separate things. That separation build up comparison. That comparison always bring the difficulties to us, unsatisfaction. But remember, you are, even though only practice point of view, we separate things. You have to remember this, everything happened together. There's no separation. We all part of this environment, this nature. We all are part of the universe. We are not separate from it. So whatever happens in front of you, you are not separate from it, you are part of it. So that's why don't try to escape from that. Accept it. Go towards that. Take it. Take it as your responsibility. Don't afraid. The things, situations will change. Do your best. And that way your greed, hatred, anger, jealousy will not going to come to you. But in case if you separate it and resist it and you think it has something, and then you project completely different thing somewhere, and then that comparison start to trigger all the greed, anger, jealousy, envy, so that kind of things. It is unnecessary. So that's why, remember, so whatever the situation, take that situation and use your wisdom and practice out of it. Become more better person yourself and brush up your wisdom out of that situation. Then in every day, in everywhere, each and every moment become an opportunity for you to become a better person. That is the best gift that we can have in our life. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself. And say Suwapat Veva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again and settle down with the sensation. Do nothing extra. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavatacha sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.